Good morning! So we have just weathered a storm in Portugal, so we kind of hid out for a couple of days while that was going on. It's still super windy. Yesterday we went to this pretty cool beach with some cliffs, we'll show you them now. It's really pretty, but oh my god, it was so windy, like we couldn't even hear ourselves talking to each other, it was that windy. And it's still pretty windy today, but we thought, do you know what, let's just get on with it. So today we are travelling out to see some Roman ruins, so that should be pretty exciting. And then we've got something pretty cool later today as well. Morning, Ben.
Ben's stressed this morning because the van keeps making slightly fun noises, and so I'm just on the listen out for if the van is behaving itself. So Ben's a bit stressed this morning, but it's fine, it's cool, it's good. We're keeping it together.
Yeah, we've just had the odd sort of little squeaky noises coming from the van, which is fun. We sort of every so often go, do we need to go to a garage today? But so far it seems to not be all the time, so fingers crossed it's just one of those things and we can just get on with our trip.
Hello and welcome to our channel. I'm Ben.
And I'm Jess.
And in September 2024 we sold our house and most of our belongings, packed what was left into our self-built camper van Serenity and headed off on a once-in-a-lifetime travel adventure.
This channel is our record of everything we get up to, so we hope you enjoy following along. I'm on a Roman ruin right now, that's very cool. So these are houses that were occupied between the 1st and the 4th century AD, very cool. I'm standing where the Romans stood.
Demonstrating standing.
I am Sparta. Is that Roman? Look, there's a little street. We're walking down a Roman street.
Oh, slipped over. You can imagine like a...
Did it again?
You're right.
It's a bit slippy here.
You can imagine a cart laden with goods coming down here.
Just got my cart with my vegetables in. Slip sliding down the Roman road. Ah! It's really mossy. I'm walking like I pooped myself trying to get up this hill.
Yeah, it's really cool walking along the old road with the walls, because you can really imagine what it would have been like to walk up that road and have the buildings lining the road. You can imagine like a cart going down the road, people toing and froing. You're right.
It's really slippy. Just calling in to see my neighbour. You know? I've just gone to see Barry. Now I'm off with my cart of vegetables. Ah! Why is it so slippy? So we're coming down this road now, and this apparently is the row of shops that you would have come to. You know, come and buy your vegetables or whatnot. Very cool.
The whole site's a lot bigger than I thought it was. When we first pulled up, I thought there was just like a handful of buildings that we saw kind of first off by the entrance building, but it goes on and on, like the old streets kind of wind through the trees here, and then you come to like different bits of the old ruins. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Really quite impressive. Coming up to something pretty cool ahead, I think. Apparently a good deal of this stuff behind us was the old baths that were here. It's amazing how intact it all is, actually. It is obviously ruins, but there's a lot of it left. You can see right down into like the basement layer where the foundations are. And I know this is just water running off the slope up there, but it gives you some impression of like what the baths would have been like.
They picked this area because it was naturally slightly further sunken into the ground, so it made use of the water coming in, but they've obviously built this section here to try and navigate the flow of it to where they want it to go. That bath would be one hell of a cold plunge today.
Yeah, it'd be chilly. It's really quite intact.
Yeah.
Considering it's almost 1800 years old.
Quite old.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Just crossed over a Roman bridge. Casual. Look at that. It's a proper bridge built by the Romans. Am I the only one who's very excited about this?
I don't think I've ever seen anything that's like this well preserved and this big that you can just kind of openly explore. And we're not done yet, so
No,
should we carry on?
There's still more to go.
I know it might sound weird, but I am just really excited by how much just like Roman road there is here. To literally walk where people walked all that time ago is quite extraordinary.
They reckon that this was one big house and it was owned by like a real rich bloke and it had fancy paintings and stuff in it. This is where the wealthy Roman lived.
Oh yeah, you can see the artwork. Yeah, you can see the decorative work all around the edge. That's crazily well preserved as well. You can properly see all the shapes and the patterns.
You've obviously got the stone of the main building, but you've got like a mortar here
Mm.
that would have been the inside of the houses that they painted on. Like they were living quite modern, really, for such a long time ago. They made tools and pots and weapons and paintings and mortar and built houses. That's mad.
I think it's one of the reasons why the Romans are such an impressive civilization, because they did do all of this really quite early, a lot earlier than most everybody else.
I need to find a podcast to learn more. This is very interesting.
I think here in like the original people who lived in the UK were like still sort of running around on sort of chariots and things at the same time as Romans were building cities and like sewer systems and roads.
Yeah, there's also a small museum here as well, so you can go and see the little artefacts that they found. What an impressive house you have, rich Roman man.
I find it really weird to think that the person who lived here, at no point during the time that they lived here would they have ever thought that their house would one day be an artefact that people 2,000 years later would wander around as a historical memoir of the time. Like they were just living their lives and getting on with it, yet here we are now wandering around their house where actual people lived and did house things and sat and ate meals and slept, and we're just wandering around it as a ruin.
Will people be doing that to our houses in 2,000 years' time?
No, our houses will fall down in 50 years. Yeah, they don't build them like this anymore. All those new builds, they won't last to the end of the century, never mind 2,000 years. So this is the last little bit of these ruins that we're coming to. There's obviously some kind of really large like outside space. You can see the pillars. And then there's this thing here.
I get it now. I get why all the boys are thinking about the Roman Empire all the time. I think I will be after this.
It's impressive stuff.
Yeah.
So this big square where we're standing was called the Forum, like a town square where like commerce would be done, or meetings, or like religious ceremonies and all that kind of stuff. So it's on the highest point of the hill.
To add to that, the thing with the columns up there is the temple. So yeah, religious stuff.
This would have been a bustling part of the city.
It would have been, yeah. This is where, like, you know, in Life of Brian, when they had the people and they stood on the podiums and they were preaching their ideas. This would be like that kind of place, wouldn't it?
I was thinking about the Hercules Disney cartoon where he knocks over all the pillars.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's what this is, isn't it? So you can even see the pillars.
Yeah, we're really cultured, we are.
Yeah, most of our historical references are from Disney.
Or Life of Brian.
Yeah, Life of Brian.
He's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy.
So this place is kind of a nice surprise, because I thought it was just like a really small ruin, like just a couple of buildings. So I thought, oh yeah, we'll just come and stop off and it'll be cool to see, but nothing much to it. But it ended up being huge, and you saw all the baths and the temple and the forum. So yeah, I've been humbled by coming here, because didn't think it'd be that good, and it's been really impressive. Hello. It's weird. Hello. Right, for the second part of this video, we are... Oh, my scarf's gone. For the second part of this video, we are in the very, very southwestern tip of Portugal, and we've come to see... I don't really know how to describe it. We'll show you it in a minute. It's a really cool structure that kind of amplifies the sounds of the waves of the sea. So you stand in it and it acts like you're inside a huge microphone, so you can hear the sea. We wanted to come and do that, and then there's also a big fort that we had to come through and pay 20 euros to get into. I'm not quite sure what the fort is, so we'll go and investigate that afterwards, but for now we're going over there to see that thing.
And considering this place was 10 euros each, I'm wondering, is it going to be better than the Roman ruins place, and that was 3 euros each. So let's see, is it going to beat it for that price?
So that is the structure there. that kind of amplifies the sound of the sea as it comes into some caves under the ground here. You can hear it from here. Every now and again you hear a kind of boom sound come up from it. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how mad it is inside.
Oh wait.
Christ, I did not expect it to be that loud.
See my jeans come up and everything.
You almost flashed people there. That's pretty
Got some
close.
fun.
Yeah.
You wanna have a go?
Yeah. So that's actually a way in which the windy weather is benefiting us today, because it means that the waves are extra powerful, so you've got extra wind coming up through those holes.
Yeah. It sounded like a monster just sort of coming up to grab you from in the depths of the cave.
It almost set off like a fear response in your body because it was so loud. You kind of wanted to just like freeze up and run away from it. That was really cool. That was well worth 20 euros. Yeah. There it is. Before we leave, we're just getting our money's worth by having a look around the fort. And the fort was built in
1753. I don't know, I made that up. 1700s of some kind.
There you go. That'll do. You've got to keep you on your toes.
I'd be in a right panic.
Got to make sure you're learning something.
Felt like I was back at school.
There's a little museum-y thing over there, but we didn't go in that because we're tired and we can't be bothered. Tell YouTube all the detailed information you learned about the fort.
It was to defend the coast
Right, that's good.
and to battalions and stuff.
Battalions and stuff.
Shoot things, I don't know.
Battalions and stuff and shoot things. Cool.
Send cannons? Was it a cannon?
Send cannons?
What is it called?
Cannonballs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it? Cannons! You was mocking me, laughing that I didn't know what I was talking about. I knew exactly what I was talking about.
No, you didn't know what you were talking about. You got very lucky that we happened to walk around the corner and there was some cannons.
They fired cannons. I was right. Them smarts. Anything else to add?
Anything else to add?
Yeah.
I don't think so. The sun's going down. I'm hungry, tired, need to find a park up for tonight. So yeah, I think that's it. Love you and leave you. See you next time.